What's going on, guys? I'm Malcolm the Machine Wellmaker, and today I'm going to be telling y'all the stories behind my most popular construction photos. Oh man, so this photo is from my very first year in the apprenticeship. Um, as you can see, I got dreads down to, past my shoulders. Um, this was 2015, late 2015, maybe 2016 early. And I probably was 23 years old, 22, 23 years old. And man, I didn't know anything. I was working at a nuclear power plant. It was a shutdown, only lasted about, 2 months. This photo in particular was from a contest for safety suggestions. So you write a safety suggestion, you put it in the Dropbox, and the best suggestion gets a prize. And so I win. So they gave me a Fitbit, and believe it or not, that same Fitbit, the day I won it, I sold it in the lunchroom because this guy said that his daughter wanted it or something like that. But yeah, man, that was very first year of apprenticeship, and I didn't know jack shit. So this photo is from a job that I spent maybe about 2 years working with the guys in this photo. One of my favorite jobs ever. One of the best crews ever. Uh, Man, those guys are like family to me, all of them. That white guy in the middle, his name is Tommy Hughes, and he travels to all my fights all the time. And he actually, believe it or not, he's a Jordan fanatic. Like he wear retro Jordans. That's kind of what sparked our long term bond. And so he's bought me Jordans to celebrate the wins at my fights. Literally, there was a fight I had in Augusta where he gave a brand new pair of ones to one of the commissioners to give to me in the cage as I was, giving my victory interview. That was probably my third year of apprenticeship when I took that picture. My hair was a little bit shorter, um, but I learned a ton on that job, and great group of guys, man. This photo is actually from right after I finished my apprenticeship. So this probably was in 2020, and I was detail foreman. So what that means is whenever the foreman or the supervisor of a crew is not there, there's a detail foreman that essentially steps in his place and makes sure the crew runs smooth and everything is done. And that was my first time being a detail foreman. The pipe in that picture that's below my hand where I'm holding onto that chain fall, I think that might have been like 14 inch, 16 inch, heavy wall. That's like a 20-foot stick. Man, that thing weighs thousands of pounds, man. That was a great job. We did a ton of flying, rigging, all that heavy wall up. I was running those systems, that heavy wall carbon pipe, is where I learned most of what I knew about fitting pipe. So, man, this photo is actually from a shutdown that we worked at a zinc processing plant. Um, Man, this plant was dirty. It was the dirtiest plant. If you look at all us, we covered in black dust. That plant takes steel mill dust that comes from manufacturing like steel beams and plate and all these other stuff. It's a byproduct of steel manufacturing, and they put it in a furnace and they refine it and take the zinc out of it, and they sell the zinc. Everything in that plant is as nasty as could be. And that small group of 5, 6 guys, you could send us on any job in the country, and we get it done, man. We really, I feel like was the definition of heavy hitters, man. Pretty much all of us could fit and weld. All of us had worked absurd amounts of hours together nonstop, and none of us was afraid to really get dirty and really work hard. I mean, swinging hammers, turning wrenches, pulling chain falls, working in rain. I mean, I did it all with these guys. And this was the last crew I worked with actually before uh, I got my call to go to the UFC. So this is actually another photo from that same zinc processing plant. I think on that day I had just went there to maybe do a bolt up, and that's why I got, the impact drill and some wrenches in my hand. It wasn't a ton of work we had to do that day. But that furnace you see behind me is constantly running all day. It's a drum that rotates, and it's just one of the coolest things that you get to see up close and personal, that I've been around in the trade myself. So I was working with my apprentice Wyatt at the time, and I told him, I was like, man, take a picture of me. And this was not long before I got my call to fight in Kansas City, and yeah, man, that was all she wrote. Man, so there is so much going on in this photo right here. So first of all, that welding hood was the first welding hood I ever bought, and it stuck beside me my whole career in the trade. It's just an old fiber metal Honeywell welding hood, 2x4 lens, old school as it gets. I chopped the bottom of it, measuring how far to chop it with a dip can. I mean, just real country trade stuff. This photo was from my first time building and erecting a steel platform, which is really ironwork, but we did it all. So that was me actually making a weld that was getting x-rayed. I was laying along the existing steel structure, and I've got a harness on because below that structure is a rotating steel drum. That probably was about, 30, 40 feet in the air. And that position I'm laying in was probably the most comfortable position to make that weld in. I wasn't just trying to look cool, but it made for a great photo, man. Yeah, it was a fantastic job. So this photo is from a shutdown that I worked at a notoriously dangerous, dirty plant in Augusta, Georgia. Um, and it's a paper mill on 56. If you say paper mill on 56, every trade hand, I don't care if it's an ironworker, carpenter, scaffold builder, pipe fitter, obviously, they are gonna know exactly what place you're talking about, and you will get the same reaction every time. Oh, that dirty place, you know what I mean? But we was working a shutdown there that day, and a shutdown is when the plant has to shut down operation for certain maintenance or repairs to be done. So things have to be done urgently. I think that's 2.5 inch, only 2.5 inch pipe, and the valve is only 2.5 inch valve. But man, that thing was heavy, and I had to put a ton of passes on it. So I was shoving wire. He was extremely high. As you can see, the position I was in, nothing to support me. So my core was burning pretty good. But we got it done, and we got it PT, which is a type of penetration test to make sure that the weld is structurally sound. And it shot good on the first test. So we got that done. We wrapped it up and headed out. So this photo, to be completely honest with you, it does no justice to the story behind it. That was a tight spot. I got a welding instructor, his name Ray James. He was one of the guys who taught me a lot of what I know. And he said it's not a tight spot under the sun. But forget what he's talking about. This spot was tight. The space between that beam behind me and those pipelines I was laying in between, it had to be like less than a foot at most. It was as cramped as could be. The weld was like this close to my lens. I had to use my right hand and left hand, couldn't adjust much. My neck was hurting, my hands was burning. That was a tough weld to make, but we got it done. Another shutdown scenario, I don't miss that. All right, so this photo is actually from a job, one of the last jobs, fabrication jobs I had in the shop before I left and fought for Kansas City. It was the same job that I made the viral, blue collar by day, blue gloves by night reel. That's on my Instagram that got, a couple million views. It was 48-inch stainless steel pipe, and we was welding caps on it so that we could build a vessel. I mean, we had to build legs for this thing. We had to, blow a hole in it and put a manway. That weld was an X-ray weld, and what that means is that they test the integrity of the weld that you make with X-ray technology. So it has to be good. And believe it or not, I made this weld, finished the weld, and I went and fought in Kansas City and quit my job before they X-rayed it. And I got a phone call from my boss, Anthony, about a week after I quit my job. He called to tell me that my X-ray welds on this pipe passed. So I left on a good note. But man, it was fun, and I really feel like I went out with a bang on that one. So those are the stories behind my most popular construction photos. Um, and honestly, man, just going through them, thinking about the memories, thinking about the guys I used to work with, I do miss it. I really do, man. I used to love what I did. It's a fun trade. It's hard work. It's dangerous work sometimes. But man, I really think it was for me. I love the satisfaction of going in and getting the job done, overcoming the obstacles, whatever they may be. Just the excitement and thrill of sometimes working at height, sometimes trying to make these hard position welds, being nervous about if it's gonna pass an X-ray test. Just all those things, man. It's so much about it that made me fall in love with pipe fitting. So I just want to say shout out to all my blue collar trade workers out there that's supporting me and on this journey with me, and local union 150 UA. I love you guys. Thank you for the opportunity and everything that you gave me, and I hope I'm making y'all proud in the octagon.